What's going on YouTube? My name is ginj-tcg or Chris, and today I'm back with another crazy rogue deck list, and this one is going to revolve around Alolan Exeggutor EX. With the Tropical Frenzy attack, you do 150 damage for just 2 energy, and you can attach as many basic energy cards that you have in your hand to any Pokemon that you have in play that you like. So basically, you can use it to easily set up backup Alolan Exeggutors to use Swinging Sphere into decks that are very popular right now, like Tera Box, where you can just flip a coin and take a KO on a basic Pokemon, which is really all they play anyways. So you're basically taking 2 prize cards a turn, or if you're up against decks like Dragapult, you can set up the Regigigas in a turn very easily because it has the Jewel Breaker attack where you do 320 damage if your opponent's active Pokemon is a Tera Pokemon. Now for the draw engine for the deck, we are playing Teal Ogerpon, which functions as both the draw engine and a phenomenal backup attacker in a pinch, as well as Fezandipiti, which is going to really just be there for the flip the script ability to allow us to draw 3 cards anytime we're getting knocked out. Now we do have Mew, which does function in a similar way to Ogerpon as a less of a draw engine and more for genome hacking in certain situations, but since we can fall down with a search heavy deck to small hand sizes, restart does come up clutch. And I know you're probably thinking, okay, these Exeggcutes, they got 30 HP, like how are we going to hang against Dragapult and decks that could spread damage counters very quickly? Well, we have Precarious Evolution, where if we go first and we can, whoa, excuse me, let me rephrase that. When we go first, because we always want to go first with this deck, we can use this attack during our first turn. This attack says that we can just evolve Exeggcute into Alolan Exeggutor. So on our first turn, we don't have to worry about taking insane damage. We could just go in with the 300 HP Pokemon, and as long as we got into energy to use this attack, that means we can use Tropical Frenzy the next turn, as long as we hopefully got the grass and water energy needed. Now for the energy counts, I am playing 3 copies of the water energy, 3 copies of the fighting energy, and 8 copies of the grass energy. I'm swinging very heavy into the grass because we do have Ogerpon in the deck, and I feel like overall, we just want to have the grass energy on deck more so that we can use this more often for Teal Dance. It's a better attacker since we need 3 grass energy to get it going, so I figured it's just a little bit easier if we lean very, very heavy into the grass compared to everything else. Now we also have Iron Bundle in the deck, which is just a Suedo Gust card. We're not necessarily playing the most insane count of gusting cards. Actually, for supporters, we're going around 4 Arven, which is going to be our main supporter, to dig out item cards such as Nest Ball and Tera Orb, since we don't need Ultra Balls. All of our evolution Pokemon are Tera Pokemon, as well as Teal Ogerpon, so it digs out a lot of different Pokemon with Tera Orb. But then we're playing 3 copies of Iono for hand disruption, 2 copies of Crispin, and 1 copy of Boss's, 2 copies, of Boss's Orders. We're not playing any counter catchers in this list, and again, that's why I'm opting to play Iron Bundle. I just think Iron Bundle, especially because in many matches we're going to be using Swinging Sphere, could just create some different disruptive plays, and then we could save the Boss's Orders for the big KOs, and in some matches like Dragapult, he's going to be very, very crucial. For the rest of the deck, we've got a pretty fun count of items. I did mention we're playing 2 copies of Tera Orb. Past getting Alolan Exeggutor or Teal Ogerpons, everything else can just be searched out with the Nest Ball. So we're playing 4 copies of Nest Ball, 2 copies of Tera Orb, and 2 copies of Bug Catching Set, which could dig out, again, our higher count of Grass Energy or any of the Grass Pokemon in play, such as Exeggcute, Teal Ogerpon, and actually, yeah, that's really the big ones. That's really it. For the other items in the deck, we're playing 1 copy of Earthen Vessel just to dig out the different energy that we have in the deck, since, searching for them is going to be a little bit difficult, but we also have 3 copies of Energy Switch. So if we can accelerate as many energy from our hand to our Pokemon in play, we can use E-Switch to put those on different Pokemon, as well as Crispin to set up different energies in different spots. Now, for in a pinch, our other tool and our A-Spec for the deck is going to be Sparkling Crystal. When you pair that with EXP Share, it's going to be very easy to feel like you need to accelerate less energy, because EXP Share is going to work in the later game once something's been KO'd. You can move energy around. It's going to be amazing on Regigigas. But Sparkling Crystal is going to be huge when you're looking to attack with Alolan Exeggutor and go for the Swinging Sphere in turn 2 if you don't want a Tropical Frenzy, or, vice versa. It's your first attacking turn and you want to use Tropical Frenzy for 1 energy. Boom. Sparkling Crystal. So it's definitely a solid card in this deck. Now, we are playing a lot of switch pivots just because there's a lot of stuff that could get trapped in energy acceleration is solid in this deck, but I really don't want to waste that energy because we do need 3 different types of it for retreating. So I am playing 2 copies of Switch as well as 1 copy of Rescue Board just to give us a free retreat pivot if we don't have Mew EX in play. Now for recovery, we're playing 1 copy of Super Rod and 2 copies of Night Stretcher to just make sure we're bringing back any Pokemon or energy that we need on any given moment. And for the Stadium, which is really just there for the Stadium bump and maybe the early game Exeggcute Evolution, you know, we got that 1 copy of Artazon, which I think overall is just kind of the best Stadium for this deck. Now that is pretty much it for the list. I mean, I think this card honestly is not bad right now. I think 300 HP is phenomenal as my Arch Aladdin is doing amazing. And I think just in general, Tropical Frenzy swinging for 150 is just great 2-shot damage. Again, if you're worried about matches like Dragapult, that's why we play, you know, Regigigas, and that's why we have 2 copies of Night Stretcher so we can bring back Regigigas. But against a lot of other meta decks right now, such as, you know, Hopzacian, such as Tera Box, such as Terrapagos, you can just take 2 prize cards a turn with Swinging's Fiend, and once you get 1 going between the Sparkling Crystal and the EXP share and just a random Tropical Frenzy, like, and your Crispins, it's not hard to get this kind of weird energy count in play. So yeah, no, I definitely hope you guys are excited for the deck. I'm definitely excited to show this one off. This is one of my favorite Tera Pokemon to play ever since I first tried it. So I can't wait to see how this deck performs right now. But before we hop into the video, I just wanted to remind everyone that the Season 3 of the Battle VIPs podcast is out and live on Spotify. So make sure you go hop over to the podcast on Spotify. That's where it's going to be from now on. And I'll always keep the link to the podcast in the description down below in case any of you guys want to check out that awesome meta review by me and my best friend Avery, or I Am Guardian on YouTube. Now, with that being said, let's hop into today's video and see how well we can do with the Alolan Exeggutor EX. Welcome to match number 1. Before we hop into it, as we're doing the setup, I just want to remind everyone I got that TCG Player affiliate link that I forgot to mention too in the description down below. So if you're going to TCG Player for, you know, any singles, any decks, any deck accessories for any card game, doesn't matter what, make sure you hop on over to TCG Player. And thank you so much to everyone who's been doing that. For real, it supports the channel in a huge way, and I could not thank you guys anymore. Now, for our opening hand, honestly, this is beautiful, perfect. I've never seen a better opening hand than this in my life. That's not totally true, but I'm gonna rock with it. We are gonna Artazon nice and early. I have no idea what stadium my opponent is playing. I'm just gonna pray it's not neutralization zone because that could get a little tricky, and I only got 1 stadium bump. And from here, we're gonna start flying. I am going to attach the grass energy to this Exeggcute. I am gonna get down a Alolan Exeggutor nice and early. And honestly, I think, what do we want to do here? We want to go Nest Ball. Let's pull out, you know what, I don't even hate a Mew EX just to give us a little restart. And then I could use the Tera Orb for Teal Mask Ogerpon. And I know, you know, we're going to be at 3 cards in hand. That's fine. I won't be able to use restart immediately. But next turn I can evolve, attach the energy, I can start using Tropical Frenzy, I can restart after that. Like, I think we're in a really, really good spot here. This might be one of the best turn 1s I really could have asked for. Now, if my opponent is playing something like Raging Bolt and does somehow pull off the Dunk KO, that would be insane. And actually, you know what? They would need the absolute nuts to do that. I mean, Sada and boom, it's Raging Bolt. Okay, so we'll see what they got. They need 5 energy on their first turn to pull that off, and they are playing the Knocked Owl build, which could take away from some of that, like, insane, massive damage start. They're going to need 3 Ogerpons in play, if I'm not mistaken, and then a Sada, or 2 Ogerpons, a manual attach, and then a Sada for 2 energy onto 2 Raging Bolt, actually, would be what they need to take the KO, and that's what I mean. Like, to pull that off on turn 1 is just, that is an insane feat. If they manage to do that, I mean, I'll cope. There's not much I can do. Like, you know, that's just how the cookie crumbles. Now, if they can't pull that off, we'll see what we can do this turn. But if I top deck something like a Sparkling Crystal, I mean, I'm just going to go in with Swinging's Fiend, and I'm either going to KO Ogerpon or KO Raging Bolt. It really depends which one has more energy immediately. Now, they did play that Earthen Vessel to pull out an Electric Energy and the Grass Energy. They got 2 Teal Dances down and the manual attachment. They're 3 out of 5 energy needed. However, there's no energy in the discard pile, and they're still missing a Raging Bolt to pull off the perfect 300. Well, not perfect. I mean, to swing for more than 300, but you guys get the picture. To be dead either way. So yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be happening this turn. I mean, they got the Nest Ball. Even if they get a Raging Bolt down, they have to Ultra Ball away 2 energy, and they choose to just get Squawk. So if they have more energy in this hand, this is where things could start to get a little difficult. They play Area 0 under depths, which honestly is a stadium I am rocking with because we play a bunch of Tera Pokemon, so we can take advantage of that. They get rid of 2 Ultra Balls, and what else? Was it just the 2 Ultra Balls? Yeah, with the Squawk ability, which is fine. That's going to be a huge way for them to get energy in the discard pile. So even if they drew into a bunch of energy, they're down 3 Ultra Balls. They might not have a way to discard them at this point, even if they have that Sada in hand. So they're just going to pass, and it is going to bring it on over to us, and I'll top deck Boss's Orders. Okay, now this is where things get a little annoying. Because I don't have like a perfect KO on anything. So I think what I want to do here is just go Boss on this Raging Bolt. I know they could set it up easy, but it's less than just a Fighting Energy manual attach on this Raging Bolt to cause problems. Now I've got 2 empty spaces for a restart in hand to just draw me 2 cards. That's ridiculous. Well, I don't see a point in Tropical Frenzy since I don't have any energy in my hand to accelerate, so we're just going to Swinging Fiend and take a guaranteed KO. I'm either going to KO their active Raging Bolt or their benched Raging Bolt with the electric energy attached. And it will be heads, allowing us to take the first 2 prize cards on their active Pokemon. And this is why I love Swinging Fiend, man. I mean, you know, when you're up against a deck like this, a deck like Raging Bolt, you know, they can promote the electric energy here. This is where it gets a little scary, but we are able to take the first 2 prize cards, and that is massive for us from here. We do have Iono. I do have a Grass Energy in hand. However, my Sparkling Crystal is down. So we'll see what my opponent's got. They got Fez. They can flip the script, get up to 8 cards in their hand. That's huge. And a Night Stretcher, so they'll get that Raging Bolt back. Excuse me, not Roaring Moon. Wrong ancient Pokemon. They just need a Fighting Energy and some Teal Dances, or some energy in the discard pile, which I'm sure they could pull off with a Knocked Owl so that they could go Sada. I mean, they could go what? Earthen Vessel Sada? Maybe. I mean, Earthen Vessel would be solid. They could really just take a Fighting and a Grass Energy, and they'd be, like, good to go from there. It's going to be a little bit hard for us to follow through in this next turn, in all honesty. However, it also could be pretty hard for my opponent because I am going to hit them with a huge Iono. What would I need to pull off the nuts? That's what I gotta math out right now, and I'm not 100% sure. I almost need like a Crispin top deck just to go Tropical Frenzy and accelerate some extra energy. Honestly, not using Tropical Frenzy or having Crispin in hand to get some early game energy in play could be cause for some problems in the late game, but we'll see. They got Sada, Nest Ball, they used the Vessel, they got rid of Iono and took 2 energy down, and now they're gonna flip the script. Okay, so they've got, actually, I think they guaranteed KO because they got a Grass to Teal Dance. That would be 4 energy in play, and then they can manual attach the Fighting Energy. That would be 5 energy in play. They got the guaranteed KO on my active. Do they have access to Sada this turn? That is the question. They've got 6 cards in hand. Is anything like an Ultra Ball or something like that? If not, we could be okay. And they're down 3 Ultra Ball. So the likelihood of them having another huge discard card, I mean, I guess Vessel could get 1 energy in the discard pile, but I feel like that's just heavy copium if that's what they're running with to get an extra energy on this Raging Bolt. They're going to extend a lot here to take the scale, which is what they have to do. I mean, we're definitely in kind of a weird spot. Definitely not the most ideal. But we do have the deck where we honestly could, like, you know, make something work. Yeah, they're going to swing 350. They're going to get rid of every energy they have in play. They're going to draw up to 8 cards with the prize cards taken, and I'm going to Iono them back down to 4. We'll try to see what we can pull off this turn. I don't know. Another Ogerpon. Okay, I like that, actually, because if we could get, like, E-Switch down or something like that, that would be awesome. So I think here I'm going to Teal Dance before Iono just to get this energy in play. Because, again, if we get a Water Energy, we do play 3 copies of Energy Switch. We could use that to pull off, and we get a Fighting Energy, which really doesn't help me here. So I am just going to rip the Iono and just hopefully get us into a new hand. What would be awesome is Water Energy, E-Switch. That's really the 2 biggest cards I need. We get Crispin. Man. Okay, we did get the Water Energy. We do have a Night Stretcher. I could honestly put that Night Stretcher to use. Just to thin a card out of the hand and use Restart. For now, I am going to Teal Dance just to see what I pull out here. What's nice is a lot of the cards, from our deck are very playable. So I will take the Ogerpon, and I could, Night Stretcher for a Grass Energy. Honestly, that doesn't feel too bad. Just to dig even deeper for a restart. I just need to hit 1 E-Switch. If I hit 1 E-Switch, we're golden. Let's take the Grass Energy. I'm going to go in with 1 more Teal Dance. I'm going to manual attach this energy to Exeggutor. We're going to Teal Dance this here, and then I can restart for 1 to 2, depending on what I get and if it's playable. We get a Grass Energy. Okay, so that's unplayable. We're going to restart for 1 and just pray it's the item we need. Fezandipiti. Okay, that's a draw 3. That works. That gets the job done somehow, if I cannot draw into it. Okay, now is where I start to get a little bit scared. How do we pull this off? You know what I could do? I think here what I want to do, we're going to retreat into Exeggcute. They've got 4 cards in hand. If they take an odd prize card here, it doesn't actually help them, and our prize mapping could still be okay, because I have Crispin to just set up Swinging Fiend the next turn, although I don't necessarily have a switch card. I would need a huge, like, flip the script. Actually, that's assuming they don't take the KO. I don't know. Yeah, they go Sada, so they can't go Boss. They have to use Prime Catcher, Pokemon Catcher, Iron Bundle, something like that to take 2 prize cards. I can rock with that. We did Iono them into Sada, which I guess I expected. They haven't played any so far. That is the first Sada played, so I'm not shocked they had it. They still need an Electric Energy, which they got with Noctowl. Alright, so they'll probably go, what, like Prime Catcher? But even if they go Prime Catcher, like, are you going to get 5 energy down to KO Alolan Exeggutor? I mean, actually, yes, you are. Okay, now we got problems. I was hoping that Exeggcute would be the KO that they take. That way there's 3 prize cards left, and they still have to take 2 KOs because we'll only have 2 prize Pokemon in play, so they still need to take 4 prize cards. However, they are going to be using Prime Catcher to bring up Alolan Exeggutor, I'm sure, and kind of put us back. And now they'll be 2 prizes ahead, and it's going to be hard for us to disrupt them. I mean, ideally we could use Regigigas, but it would have to be like this turn, and I don't know how to set up Regigigas without using Tropical Frenzy. Now, they could go Superior Energy Retrieval. They've got 3 energy in the discard pile, which is perfect. Oh my god, wait. Oh, they put the energy on the bench one. Yeah, so then they take a couple energy back. They get it on the Ogerpons to Teal Dance. They take Fez. That's actually, is that better for us? That could be. That could be huge. Wait, that's a game changer. I was thinking they would take Exeggutor, and then it would make it weird for me to get anything more than a Tropical Frenzy out, but this actually works. Sure, they get less energy, but we use Swinging Fiend, and we try to take out the Pokemon with the most energy going into the following turn, right? And then we can try to set up some extra energy on Regigigas, and then put them on the odd prize card that way? I don't know. It's kind of a gamble. Raging Bull is just so consistent in this sense. You know, like, once they get rolling like this, I mean, this is why the Noctowls are kind of nice. I don't know if it's my favorite way to play Raging Bolt, but it makes the deck so perfect when they get Iono'd, in the sense where it's like, you know they're going to draw or search now into what they need. Like, they lost Pokestop, but they refound that consistency in a single prize Pokemon that they've got no problem, putting on the bench. You get rid of their stadium, they'll just get rid of their Noctowls. Like, you know, it creates some tricky scenarios. So they are going to get rid of our Fezandipiti. We're going to promote Mew, and we get a Grass Energy. Okay. What do I want to do with that? Is there another tool that I would like to use? I'm not sure. I am going to bench Regigigas. I kind of want to assume that I just dig through my whole deck, right? Let's bug catching set, see if I hit anything. Just dig out everything we can, maybe. And we get an Exeggcute and another Grass Energy. I don't necessarily want to take the Grass Energy, because I do want to make sure I've got 1 to Crispin. We got, what, 3 Grass Energy, 4, 5. So I should have 3 more, actually. So we should still have plenty to Crispin. Is this going to make it harder for me to restart? Possibly. But I can definitely go Myriad Leaf Shower. You know, let's take it. Why not? Let's have some fun with it. I could bench Exeggcute. Would that help me? Probably. Iron Bundle wouldn't necessarily help me if they promote like Noctowl or something like that. I do want a basic in the active, and obviously there's a bunch on bench, just so I can use them if needed. I'm just going to Teal Dance here. If I get anything I don't need, I've got the Vessel in hand to just discard. I don't have to take any energy with it because I've got the Crispin. So if that's the supporter of choice, you know, we'll be good. But I want to pull off as big a restart as possible, and I'm hoping to get some more playable Pokemon. That Iron Bundle is what I was saying is a bit more of a dead card because I can't play it and use it. In case I get a Night Stretcher, I would want to go in with Fez, and we get a Nest Ball. But there's nothing I really want a Nest Ball for from here on. Actually, there's nothing I can Nest Ball. We've got 2 Fighting Energy, 1 Water, 1 Grass. Okay. That is fine. We are going to Vessel away Crispin. Right? Maybe. I do still have a... No, I don't want to use my manual attachment. You know what? I'm just going to fail it. I'm just going to fail. We're going to Swinging Fiend. That's really the best chance we got. We are going to use Restart for 1 or 2. We'll Restart for 1. I'll hold Iron Bundle. I don't know. This is a weird choice. I'm trying to think of the best way around this. I'm not sure. We're going to take the Fighting Energy and the Grass Energy. It does not matter which is put into our hand because both need to be attached to Exeggutor. And I am just praying here that, what do you call it? I can almost get a Tails just so I can take out the Raging Bolt with energy. But we'll see. We will see. I do have Iron Bundle. I don't want to use that now just because they'll promote something like Knockdown. And then if I flip heads, I'm just kind of cooked from there on out. And I'm going to flip tails, which is perfect. That is exactly what I needed. So we are going to KO the Raging Bolt with the energy attached. They could keep the Raging Bolt in the active. That's fine either way. We're going to be dealing with the Raging Bolt right now. So I'm going to take 2 prize cards on a very set of Pokemon. And they need another 5 energy to pull off this KO. Now I know they have access to Fezandipiti. Super Rod is a phenomenal card to get here. That's going to pull back a lot of energy. If they have the KO, they win. There's nothing we can do about it. We're making it as hard as possible. They got 7 cards in hand. They need 5 energy played, or in play by the time they're ready to attack. Is that possible? Yes. We just watched them do it twice in a row. However, did we give Raging Bolt, which gives like Arch Paladin difficulties for the same reason? Like, you know, we're playing a tanky stage 1 deck. Obviously, this is a goofier version, like with a much more rogue EX, but I think Raging Bolt is just a natural counter to a deck like this. The fact that we're running it this close says a lot about the power of this deck. This is not one of the best matchups, but it's not an auto loss. It's definitely something you could do, and boom, that's a game. Like, I guess my opponent didn't have it. We swing Fiend. I'm whatever. I don't know what is in their hand. Couldn't have been good. Regardless, give me the bird. I'll always take the bird. Why not? And that's going to be a 2/4/6 of 3 Swinging Fiends. This is why this deck is so much fun. it just decks. Like, there's no other way to put it. We're 1-0 so far. Let's see if we can guarantee that positive record and pick up the second win in the next match. Welcome to match number 2. We open up with a bit of a crazier hand, and I just realized in match number 1 we never actually got to play or see in Arven, which is like how this deck functions. Or an E-Switch. So the fact that we made it that far actually like blows my mind. Not gonna complain about it. We got it's a hand, that's for sure. I mean, sure, they got Mischievous Lock. That's not gonna stop us too much. I could spam like E-Switches and Iron Bundles and stuff and get a big restart. I don't really want to waste some very useful energy switches like that. I'd rather just evolve into my Exeggutor, and we'll figure out something from there. Now, I do have a bunch of energy switches, so if I could somehow just pull out a Water Energy, an Arven, an Earthen Vessel, a Sparkling Crystal, just anything to allow me to Tropical Frenzy, that would be awesome. I'd love to just take a prize here if possible. My opponent's playing Buddy Puff and a Defiance Vest. I mean, maybe they're playing Gardevoir, they're playing Dragapult. Okay, so we need a big Swinging Frenzy EXP share. We did not have the best of time getting energy down early last game, which made it pretty much impossible to set up Regigigas. And that's the one thing, like when you're up against decks where you're gonna use Gigas to take a big KO on something like Dragapult, you want to make sure that your early game is so energy dependent. You know, sure, Swinging Fiend might be able to take a KO here. Like, there's a world where that could be much more useful than Tropical Frenzy. But when we know Regigigas is going to be a pivotal card in the mid to late game to buy as 2 prize cards against the fully evolved version of this guy, I think we want to prioritize this Tropical Frenzy and getting as much energy in our hand as possible. I'm gonna burn these energy switches this turn just in case. Like, I don't know the best way to get around this. Actually, never mind. We're gonna be an item lock. Oh my gosh. Alright. I was gonna E-switch just the grass energy back and forth a little bit to buy us time to restart. Does not seem that I will be lucky enough to pull something like that off. We still, you know, I can't even get all of these energy down, could I? I could Artazon. But then do I want to give them Artazon is the thing. I think I am, just to thin the deck one more card. I'm going to get out my Exeggcutes now, now, just because I feel like this is the best chance I have to evolve them. After that, it's going to be pretty chalked. I mean, Rescue Board is cool. I could play Rescue Board and the energy to hopefully top deck a supporter, but if it's anything but Crispin, we are cooked. You know what? Whatever. Let's do it. We'll throw it on bundle. Why not? It's pointless on Mew. I'm hopefully going to evolve and crystal this guy or EXP share, so we'll just do this. That's a fine card. It's playable at some point. We could just bench it. For now, we'll just pass and see what my opponent's got. They got 6 cards in hand off their top deck. They were able to play a supporter last turn. I don't believe they did. They are going to Artazon, get down another GP if I had to take a guess. No, they did play the Arven. That's right. Oh, what I would do for an Arven. Oh my gosh, they get a Pidgey down. All right, cool. So it's a Pidgeot Dragon Ball deck. Again, that's something we can hang with. They're just going to keep itchy pollinating me until they are able to attack, which does make things annoying, but we can hopefully figure it out. And they got the Ultra Ball. Do they have Rare Candy in hand? That would be nuts. We know they have the Fire Energy. They got the Fire Psychic off the Earthen Vessel, and they get rid of EXP Share and Hawlucha with Flying Entry. That's a pretty cool card to see. And they go into a Dracolic. Okay, so they might be taking a little more time to set up, and that's fine. I need a little more time to find myself a Water Energy. Again, I have so many supporters in my deck that could just help me do that so fast. You know, I mean, I guess Arven... No, even Arven would work, because I'll just take my Sparkling Crystal and still use Tropical Frenzy at this point. And they Iono me into a new 6. Oh, that is golden. I am so okay with that. Now I feel a bit more confident in getting a very, very playable card. Just somehow, I might just Iono again, too. And they have the Dark Energy. Oh my god, are they playing Monkey Dory? Yeah, this is the most teched out Dragon Ball deck I think I've ever seen. This is actually crazy. We are going to be under Itchy Pollen Lock, though. So I really don't want to use Arven, but I might have to, because if they only have 3 cards in hand, yeah, I really don't want to Iono them to a new 6. I'd rather just force them to draw something. We know that Fire Energy is on the bottom of their deck. We get an Alolan Exeggutor out. I am going to Artazon for... Actually, do I even have another Exeggutor in the deck? I don't think I did. I think it's prized. Yeah, I don't. Okay. That's fine. We're going to take Regigigas down now. Right? I mean, I guess they could have a big boss KO. I don't know. We'll take it down. I'm going to evolve here. We got the 3 attackers needed. Oh my gosh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to check. Ah, man. That's bad. If Sparkling Crystal is in the deck. Whatever. We're gonna send it. And is it? Oh, thank gosh. I was like, that could be a huge misplay. Alright, let's get a Earthen Vessel here. I know we can't play it, that's fine. I am gonna use Iron Bundle this turn, though. We're gonna smack Crystal on this guy, so I can Frenzy. I'd rather not KO Badoo at this point. I'd rather take a KO against anything here on the bench. Even a Klefki is fine. That's their retreat pivot. They could just keep Badoo at this point. They're going to be hoping to go with Dragon Bolt next turn. And, I mean, if they don't pull off the Evolution Energy Attachment KO, I'll have Vessel to get some energy on Regigigas. I don't know. I feel good with what I got. I could Swinging Fiend, actually, because I have no energy in hand. Because then, if I could get a KO on Pidgey... I know I said I want a Tropical Frenzy, but, like, it doesn't matter if I have no energy. Give me the Swinging Fiend. Let me take that. Yeah, let me take that Pidgey. I'm taking a prize no matter what. Let me take your Quick Search out of the game. All right. Yo, this attack is so crazy. Oh, my gosh. I mean, I guess, did I need to use Iron Bundle for that? Because they had Badoo in the active, which is a single prize Pokemon? No, I guess I didn't need to. But... we're here. I did. Whatever. I don't know. I thought I was going to Tropical Frenzy, but then I'm like, I guess, you guys see the logic. It doesn't matter. I have no energy, so it shouldn't matter too much. They'll use their double Recon Directive. They have their top deck. Now they have a much bigger hand. They could build it bigger. Could give me more value to Iono. I just didn't want to Iono when they only had 3 cards. They have 5 cards in hand. They got both energy needed. If they have a Dragapult EX, we are in a little bit of danger. If they just go Itchy Pollen, if they retreat, go Itchy Pollen, something tells me I'm not going to be doing... Oh, they go Counter Catcher and bring up Regigigas. Okay. And they Iono. Oh, man. So now if they retreat, go Itchy Pollen, now we're in a little bit of trouble because we won't have a Switch. But this is okay. This is okay. We do have Arven, so we could dig out the Switch if absolutely needed. However, we will also want Vessel. No, they get the Dragapult, so they'll take the KO on Gigas. That's fine. Because we do have plenty of Night Stretchers in a deck like this. Now, Ogerpon might not be the best attacker. Honestly, Mew might be the best attacker. Like, out of all... honestly, these 4 Pokemon are all phenomenal attackers. Like, I'll rock with literally every single one of them. Yes, Regigigas is falling. I know, that's fine. We got 2 Night Stretchers. I'll pull it back. I'll use it. We'll figure it out from there. Mew EX is getting some damage onto it now. Okay. So we need to start swinging and start swinging hard. So let's throw this guy up in the active. I can Arven Vessel this turn, get some energy just to smack down on Mew. And we get an energy from hand, or as a top deck as well. It's actually great for us. All right, let's Arven. Let's get out Earthen Vessel and EXP share. Yeah, let's do that. We got Nest Ball for Fez. Could flip the script. We got another Nest Ball. Let's take out another Ogerpon. And then we'll play the Ogerpon in our hand. We're gonna do some major thinning right now. Just cause. We're gonna smack an energy EXP share down on this Exeggutor. This is gonna be our big best friend backup attacker. And I'm gonna flip the script. No. I'm gonna use Vessel. I'm gonna take out Exeggcute. I'm gonna get some energy down. I'm gonna take a Grass Energy. Actually, you know what? I might even just go 2 Grass Energy just so I could Teal Dance a bit. See if I can get any extra energy. We got a bunch of energy switch in the deck. I'll live off vibes that I could pull it off correctly. I mean, I know I wanted to do that last game, then I never could. But the vibes are better this game. You know what I mean? Like, this is how we roll. Get Boss's Orders. Not a bad card to have in hand for the following turn. I really do want to pull off a copy on Phantom Dive. And Crispin. That's sweet, too. All right, let's flip the script here. I could attach the energy. Is that going to get me anywhere? I could restart for 1 if I do that, then flip the script. Whatever. Let's do it. They got 1, but they could get 9 damage counters down on Mew. I don't know if that's a play I could go for. But this Grass Energy is pretty useless anywhere else, because I'm not going to use Swinging Sphere at this point. It's really just Tropical Frenzies. So let's do that. Let's Mew, restart for 1, and then flip the script. We'll draw 4 cards instead. We get Rod. Wait. That's pretty awesome, because I could Rod back Gigas at some point, too, and then use Artazon if they don't bump. That's huge, actually. And we got 2 energy. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're live. All right. That's perfect. I'll Tera Orb just to thin the deck out and Ogerpon or something. That's all that's left. That's perfect. And then we're going to Tropical Frenzy. I'm going to smack, 1 Grass Energy on you, and then 1 here. Yeah, that looks right. I don't know. We're going to need a big Mew play right now. And that's, like, we can do this. We can do this. We need a switch. 1 switch, 1 energy, and we're golden. And I got Crispin. So my plan is to use Mew, copy Phantom Dive this turn. I'm going to take the KO on their active with the 200 damage, allowing me to bump up to 350 in total, and then put some damage counters on Badoo to take a 3 prize card turn, leaving me at 2 left. And then I'll just have to set up a Regigigas, which I could do with all of my energy switches, a manual attach, a Crispin. You know, just 2 energy switch, a Crispin? Just saying? The vision's there. The line isn't pretty, but she's gonna work. Like, y'all just gotta trust it. They're gonna go Arven. Unfair Stamp. That is devastating, but off Unfair Stamp, we'll have 2 cards in hand, then we'll top deck a 3rd. If any of those are playable, that allows me to go restart and then flip the script, assuming they take a KO. So we'll still make it work. That's fine. And no, they're actually just gonna hold Unfair Stamp in hand. Oh, I guess we didn't take a KO last turn. I didn't think of that. Okay. Well, that makes things much harder, doesn't it? They didn't get the Dark Energy either, so they couldn't even use Monkey Dory. They could put all the damage counters on Mew, but I don't know if that's going to do much for them, because I'm showing I want to use Mew as an attacker, and they're actually just going to litter the damage everywhere. That's a fun play. I like that. Okay. Now, what's my top deck? Tera Orb. That doesn't do me many favors. I could go Boss's Orders, but I really do want to put 300 damage down on this Dragapult. Because then they still have Unfair Stamp in hand. That's not going to do them anything. We could just go Crispin. Just give some more energy down on this guy. The water energy and the energy here. Maybe on a... I don't know. We definitely need the water energy. And I'll take a grass energy. Actually, no, we could Seal Dance. Just draw 1. Might as well. Put an energy card in my hand. Give me the grass energy. I'm going to smack the water energy on the Exeggutor. I'm going to Teal Dance and pray that this Teal Dance is what? Switch. That would be great. Oh my god. Okay. Now we're 1 energy short on the Dragapult play. On the copy Dragapult play. If they have Boss's Orders, sure, they could take out Mew. That is problematic. But that's fine. We've got a switch in hand. Well, I can't believe I asked for that and got it like that. That's nuts. All right. I like this. There are no valid cards to select. Oh my gosh. I cannot hit. There is no done. Love this game. Okay. Like, you can't make this up. Well, I guess we're going to sit here until my timer runs out because there's nothing I can do. There is no done button on my screen. I can't even emote, which I think you could see under the face cam right above TCG player. And I'm trying to just hit the confusion face, but it won't actually pop up any of the faces around, so that's awesome. So we're just going to wait here for the timer and see if they'll hopefully just count the damage done. Obviously, there's no energy I could accelerate, and that's just another bug to add to TCG Lab's list. And yeah, it is. Okay, so we eventually got the job there. I'm going to hit the question mark. I don't know why that happened. I apologize to my opponent. If you're somehow watching this video, I apologize, I promise. I just couldn't do anything. It's the game being the game. It's what I get for playing a card that no one plays. Of course it's not going to function right. They are going to Recon Directive, go up to 9 cards in hand, take 1, put 1 on the bottom of the deck. They're going to do another new version of Flower Selecting and build themselves up to 10 cards. Now, we know one of them is Unfair Stamp. That is not going to do them any favors right now because we did not take the KO. We left them at 20 HP. And the reason this is huge is next turn, if I could just get 1 energy card onto Mew EX, I can switch into Dragapult. And then I can use Phantom Dive. Well, actually, I would have to boss up a different Dragapult, hopefully. I go boss on a Dragapult EX that they obviously evolve into. I switch into Mew. I copy Phantom Dive. I take 1 prize card here, 2 prize cards here. That's just 5 damage counters. I can throw the other wherever. And then I can go do 200 damage to their active, which another Alolan Exeggutor that is set up on my bench can do immediately. And they are going to use Rod to take the Dark Energy Pidgey and Hawlucha out of the discard pile. There's the Dragapult. Now, do I even need to use boss? Or are you just going to retreat? Because that would be even better for me. But to be fair, so would a KO, because then I get access to Fez. And flip the script, whoo, yeah. I'm rocking with that. They are just going to Phantom Dive, leaving the big Dragapult in the active, and Mew is going to fall to 120 damage. Now, we could lose this turn, potentially, which would be scary. I want the Grass Energy in the discard, in case I want to Night Stretcher back a Grass at any point. I'll just put the Fighting Energy here. I could swing Fiend. You never know that's going to become relevant. Also, Night Stretcher for Grass Energy to Teal Dance. Again, another play. You never know when it's going to become relevant. I'd rather have it in hand and not need it. Or have it in a play I know I could pull it easy and then not have to use it or something. They got 3 prize cards left. Oh my god, this is so scary. Okay, that's fine. We go Mew. I don't think I can thin enough in my discard pile. Yeah, to be worth it. Actually, you know what? No, I could go Iron Bundle. That's so big. Wait, hold up. You know what? And then I could save boss. That's pretty big. Alright, let's do this. This is going to be such a weird line. Just trust. Yeah, y'all gotta know there's a vision here sometimes. Not often, but sometimes. Let's go Rod. Let's take back Gigas. Bundle. Gigas Bundle Grass Energy. We'll go Artazon. I'm gonna take... no, but if I go Bundle, they'll just promote not Dragapult, so that is also kind of problematic. Tera Orb isn't gonna do me anything. I got the last Pokemon I pretty much need in my hand already. I could use Boss now. And then I'll have 3 cards in hand. I could just bench an Ogerpon at that point. I don't think I'll have enough time to set up a Gigas. I think we're just kind of cooked on that front. And if they take a KO, then that would be our space for Gigas anyways. So let's just do this, thin a card, and then I'll restart. I guess I could have promoted anyone else and then just switched. That's... Hey, you know what? I put the energy back. Okay. That's bad. We gotta flip the script and hit an energy here. If we don't... Oh, thank gosh. I was going to say, if we don't, I'm going to scream. But we're good. We're all right. Let's bug catching set. See if I can pull out any Grass Energy. I'd take 1. Also, the game's getting really laggy, and I don't know why. I'm going to set up this Ogerpon. I'm just going to put 3 energy here. Hey, that could be an attacker, and you never know, and that's going to be very important for us. So now, we'll take a Nest Ball. That's awesome, too. Attach this energy to Mew. And now we're going to Phantom Dive. Huge Phantom Dive. Yo, shout out me as a backup attacker. Let's go Phantom Dive. I need to put, what, 3 damage counters on Badoo. I do not like how much this game is lagging. 2 damage counters here, and then I'll just throw the 1 damage counter on Klefki. Just cuz. I guess I could do Dragapult too. That 10 damage could potentially become relevant at some point. Because, I mean, I don't know if we could somehow do that twice. Then there would be 20 damage done, which is just 2 Tropical Frenzies. I don't know, it's something. Hey, alright, we'll take our 3 prize cards. 2 prize cards left and we got game. They bench Fez, I go swing his feet. And we get Crispin. Oh, that's big. That's big. That's a lot of energy down right there. That is a lot of energy. Do we have 4 energy left in our deck? They go Boss's Orders. Tell me they just have game. Oh my god, they do. They go Phantom Dive, take the KO on Mew and Fezandipiti. Yeah, they just had it in hand like that. Well, that's unfortunate. That was a good game, though. That was a really good game. It's just that early setup. I just couldn't get Gigas with any energy. We couldn't take a big KO with a single prize Pokemon like that. Unfortunate. That was awesome, though. That was a ton of fun to play through and math through. It was a good time. We're 1-1 with the dog, Alolan Exeggutor. Let's hop into match number 3 and see if we can clutch a positive record for the day with this goofy EX. Welcome to match number 3. We open up with an Exeggcute and an energy needed to use Precarious Evolution. And that is all I needed to see. And we're up against, oh my god, it's Frostlass Munkidori. This is going to be one of the weirdest matches ever. I haven't played against this deck in a minute. I think it's about time I get this deck showcased on the channel. I love this deck so much. I think it is so powerful. Such a fun deck to run right now. Gonna be an interesting match for sure. We are gonna go double Nest Ball. I do want to get these guys evolved early if possible before the Munkidori start happening, ideally. We might have to. I mean, could I do this with just one Exeggutor? Honestly, there is a world I could. Let's go double Nest Ball though. The best chance I have at figuring something out with these guys is now. I mean, maybe I could have gone Mew there, but that's just a 2-price Pokemon I really didn't want in play. This hand, it'll do. We got Arven for Earthen Vessel. Yeah, alright, you know what actually I could do? Go Sparkling Crystal, Tera Orb, get another Exeggutor down. If I have 2 Exeggutors, honestly, I think I can make this work. And then I could Tropical Frenzy, attach a Grass Energy to the Exeggutor as well. We've got 2 evolved Pokemon with no abilities. It's going to be hard for just Munkidoris to deal with those. We'll be taking a bunch of prize cards, 1 prize card every turn very consistently from there. You know what? What? Stop playing. Nah, that line works. This is the counter to Frostlass Munkidori. Oh my gosh, we don't need Mew, we don't need Ogerpon. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe that's why I couldn't set up Gigas. I was just doing too much. They're going to Drayton. Look at the top 7 cards of their deck. Take a Pokemon trainer card and there should be another. No, just Pokemon and trainer card. Put them into your hand. All right, that's cool. That's cool. I don't know why I thought there was a third thing. They're going to say Badoo and Arven. Well, Badoo's annoying, but that Maractus is not leaving the active spot. We'll take the 6 damage counters from Exploding Needles. There's whatever. If they go boss corner, that's something. I was gonna say take Exeggcute. We switch. Like we that is nuts. Because now it's just 2 Tropical Frenzies immediately, right? We go Tera Orb. Oh my gosh, Sparkling Crystal's prized. Okay, so let's take EXP Share. Yeah, because then I attach the Water Energy to the active. And then I have a Grass Energy to attach here. When this guy gets KO'd, I move the Water Energy to him. That works. If they go Boss onto Exeggcute to try to stall for a turn, I have Switch. So that's we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We'll Tera Orb now. We'll take out an Alolan Exeggutor EX. Now we have 2 in play. And the reason I really wanted 2 in play was just because, again, like Munkidori moves 3 damage counters. This guy's cooked immediately. I had a feeling if we didn't evolve these guys on the bench, they were going to die from both Munkidoris that we're staring at right now on the following turns somehow. So we're just going to swing for 150. We're going to get that Grass Energy attached, and I'm going to hope this prize card is a big one. You know, they could keep using Badoo, keep putting us under the item lock pressure. And if that's the route they go, I respect it. And we get Crispin. Now the EXP share is pointless, because I'm just going to get the Water Energy here, and I might as well just attach the Fighting Energy here. If I could dodge Badoo and just take KOs of Munkidoris the whole time, like, be my guess. And if they, you know, I hit heads and then KO Badoo, I still KO Badoo. Like, that's fine. That's good. What do you go Arven for? Is Hyper another A-Spec to get a bunch of Frostlass down? I'm not sure, actually. Maybe, like, Secret Box, Unfair Stamp. I actually don't know. I feel like Unfair Stamp would be a really fun one to run. That actually would cause us a lot of problems. No, they go Ultra Ball, so they might only get one Frostlass down this turn, unless they just have one in hand to use immediately. And boom, now there's a Monkey Dory that's a target. Now it's the Rescue Board one. If they get a Dark Energy on that guy too, yo, we swinging Sphene all day. That Monkey Dory's good, like, pieced out of this world into the ether. They go Frostlass. They got the cool Frostlass. They got a bunch of cool Monkey Dories. They got a bunch of cool Frostlasses. Is this Badoo? Nah, it's base Badoo. Okay, that's tight. That's tight. And they go Artazon. So they can get down another Monkey Dory, another Badoo maybe. They get another Monkey Dory, yep. And they got one card left in hand. They did play a supporter this turn. They played Arven, and they have Unfair Stamp to rip right now. That is a devastating ace spec, but hey, who needs Crispin if you're just going to draw the energy outright? That'll do. Now, they don't have any damage counters now. I guess I did forget about that in my, like, epic plan of how am I going to get cooked this time. So we could Arven, but even if we take Tera Orb, we're actually not going to be able to evolve into Exeggutor, excuse me. I'm going to have to just top deck it here. That's not going to do. I do like the Arven, though. I will put the Arven to work. What am I going to take out? I don't need many items. Honestly, a Night Stretcher just to bring back an energy if needed. And a Rescue Board might just be our best friend. Yeah, that's fine. We'll get the Fighting Energy attached here. I will attach the... Actually, do I even... No, I'll hold the Rescue Board. If they boss this up again to stall it, all we do is attach the Rescue Board at that point. I'd rather just hold on to it. And we'll Swinging Sphene. If I can take out... Honestly, maybe the guy with the Dark Energy. Maybe we go that way. Right? Because then they need to get more energy attached. I really don't... the less Adrenaline Brains they have, the less damage they're doing in a deck like this. If we're under item lock at this point, like, whatever, we're fine. You know, they'll eventually KO my active, and then I'll move the water energy to that Exeggutor anyways. And if they use their Monkey Dories to take out the benched Exeggutor, well, that's okay. We'll just use our active. So, we're good, I believe. They've got 2 damage counters on each Monkey Dory to KO Exeggcute. They do need to use both Monkey Dory's Adrenabrains to move damage counters. They do Night Stretcher for another Monkey Dory that was in the discard pile. They didn't take the Dark Energy because they had it in hand, so they can use that manual attach. With the Dark Energy I already had, they can use the Adrenabrain. They can move 2 damage counters this turn onto Exeggcute, but that does not fully KO it. Instead, they'll put it on our benched Exeggutor, which is fine. That's cool. And they go Research. Okay. So... I don't know if there's another way they could get a Dark Energy down this turn. They'll take Exeggutor here, and that's okay. Actually, no, that's bad. That's pretty bad. Because we have to EXP share there. Oh, man. Okay. Ah, oh, boy. And now I can't... Earthen Vessel for an energy. Or, yeah, we don't have any water energy in the discard. I just have to top deck Crispin and water energy. I don't. I get a grass energy. As cool as that is, it really doesn't save me here. Okay, so if they keep us under item lock pressure, man, things do become problematic. I'm going to attach this energy here, maybe. I don't know. There's really not much I could do. And then just pass, I guess. We'll let them stack up damage counters. Right now they don't have enough Dark Energy down. Could cause some problems. They could get too much damage on the Monkey Dories. We could take some funny KOs that way if they don't get that Adrenabrain cycling. Each Monkey Dory is taking 2 damage counters a turn. They could move 3 off of each every turn, and that's why this deck is just so strong. And that boss is already, you know, that EXP share really was, I don't know why. It was great at the time, but in hindsight, I could totally see how that was probably not the play. Now we're just going to face an Adrenabrain spam, and they'll take that KO on Exeggcute. Okay, so we're going to have to do this with 2 Exeggutors. If I get top deck an energy, I could retreat. Unless it's a water energy, in which case I just go Tropical Frenzy and just start taking my KOs every turn. They're going to Adrenabrain move 2 damage counters off one of the Monkey Dories, and they will put it on the active. Okay, so they're kind of loading both off to similar amounts, which is fair. And our active is stuck. It's really not going to do anything. And they're going to retreat into Monkey Dory as well and attach... Oh. I would do it. Oh my god, I was so confident. Ooh, forgot about Devo. Yo, that was nuts. I'm not gonna lie, I was so overconfident. For what? Well, I mean, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. I came here with a crazy deck. I played stupid games. I earned stupid prizes. I mean, that was sick. That I totally forgot TM Devo exists. Oh my lord. Yo, that deck is nuts. Maybe I should have just killed Badoom so I could have used items and attacked that turn. I wouldn't have changed anything. I would have just been Devo'd at some point. Wow. That one hurt. I mean, I was so hyped about Exeggutor too, to go 1 and 2. Like, this card I still think is like, as far as goofy rogue decks go, I think this one is solid, but I did just get bullied today. That's how it be sometimes. I hope you guys still enjoyed the video. Again, podcast, Spotify, go listen to it. Huge meta review. Atlanta's actually today is the first day of Atlanta when this goes up. So yeah, go listen to it to help you question every pick you've made and listen to two people just yap about cards on the meta and how the new rotation and set is going and stuff. It's an awesome time. With that being said, seriously, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am sorry that I could not pull the positive record with Exeggutor, but those are just super fun matches, so I definitely want to show them off. Like, they were awesome. So yeah, I hope you guys still enjoyed the video. With that being said, stay epic. Peace.